Software development is moving at high speed, powered by AI tools that write, debug, and refactor code in seconds. But an invisible, silent anomaly can infect the workflow before a single line of code is even reviewed. Cursor has quickly established itself as a leader in this space. 7 million developers now rely on its AI assistants, treating the editor as a trusted partner in their engineering process. That trust is currently being tested. If you clone a Windows project and open it in Cursor, you can trigger hidden malware without a single warning prompt or permission request. Opening an untrusted folder to review code now triggers a payload automatically. Instead of searching strictly in secure system directories, Cursor's path logic checks the local workspace folder first. An attacker drops a malicious file named git.exe into their repository root. Cursor finds it first and runs it immediately. Security firm MindGuard demonstrated this by renaming the Windows Calculator app to git.exe. Simply launching Cursor against that repository caused dozens of calculator windows to spawn in an automated loop. In a real attack, that file wouldn't be a calculator. It would be a malicious payload capable of exfiltrating SSH keys, session tokens, and cloud credentials stored on your machine. The malware runs with your existing user privileges, granting an attacker the same access you have to local files and internal network resources. This vulnerability has a massive footprint. Cursor is used by over 50,000 different companies, including more than half of the Fortune 500. Threat actors can distribute these poisoned repositories through compromised open source libraries or by sending malicious coding assignments to unsuspecting job candidates. While this specific pathing error is isolated to Windows systems, it targets enterprise development teams with direct access to production infrastructure. A simple directory oversight has created an entry point into the internal systems of 50,000 different organizations. This timeline tracks the vulnerability, starting December 2025 with a private report. Over the following months, emails were ignored, workflows failed, and security tickets closed unresolved. Meanwhile, Cursor shipped over 70 new software versions, while this specific code execution vulnerability remained completely unaddressed. After 211 days without a patch, the researchers published a full public disclosure to warn the community. When vendor communication entirely stops, public disclosure becomes the only way to warn the community of active risks. Developers must now take their defense into their own hands. That begins by manually inspecting any untrusted repository before loading it into the IDE. Use a standard file explorer to check the project root. If you see an unexpected executable file sitting next to your source code, treat it as a threat. For managed teams, the first line of defense is deploying App Locker or Windows App Control policies across all developer machines. As this file directory diagram shows, administrators need to configure path-based rules. By blocking execution specifically within workspace and repository folders, you neutralize the attack without affecting standard system tools. Securing the environment requires us to remove the implicit trust traditionally granted to our development tools. This schematic illustrates the ultimate protective measure, a strictly walled-off sandbox. Utilizing disposable environments for initial code review ensures total isolation. If a poisoned repository executes here, the payload is contained, protecting your host system and credentials. Unfortunately, the speed of AI-assisted coding is currently outpacing the critical security reviews meant to keep development environments safe. The tools used to build the future still contain significant blind spots. Verify what you are downloading before you load your next project into the IDE.